Just because you are overweight does not mean that you should have to pay more for health insurance. In fact, if you think about it, people in their 50s today are only 20 pounds heavier than what they were in the 70s. Now, with that being said, a lot of people can't always lose the weight. And some of the reasons that they can't lose weight is not even their fault. Some of the things that contribute to that is if you've been overweight most of your life, if one or both of your parents have obesity, and there's other factors as well. And in fact, Dr. Leonhardt states that obesity is having excess body fat, and that's not always something that can be controlled. One thing that we need to do is we need to stop fat shaming people. When you fat shame people, that makes them actually feel worse about themselves than what they originally did. Now, those who are overweight can actually cause additional diseases to happen. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, it can cause chronic diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and other items as well. Now, like I said, it's not always the person's fault that they are overweight. And when they are overweight, that can actually cause more stress. And just because it causes more stress doesn't mean that we should have to pay more for health insurance, especially when it's something that is beyond our control. Now, some people think that because a person is overweight, that they're just lazy. And that's not always true. Sometimes it's true, but not always. Sometimes people just want to have a little bit of motivation in order to lose weight. But the thing is that when they look at what they're having to pay for, there's things that they shouldn't have to pay for additional for. For an example, on a lot of flights, somebody who's overweight has to pay more for their seats because they may have to have 2 seats as opposed to 1 seat, which is not entirely their fault because sometimes the airline has small seats. So just because somebody has to pay more for one thing does not mean that they have to pay more for other things in their life. And also, a little motivation goes a long way. When you motivate somebody, you're encouraging them to make their life better. One thing I would suggest is to try to help people take care of themselves. The important thing to remember here is to be a friend before being a coach. Somebody who wants to lose weight may need a little bit of help. But keep in mind, as a dieter loses weight, then their diets might need to be changed as well. But the thing to help them with is to help them keep to their plan. And when you help somebody, you may be surprised about your own life. You will become an encourager instead of a discourager. One thing that you can do is remind that person to turn to you instead of turning to food. When you do things like this, it can actually help better yourself when you help other people. But keep in mind, health insurance is one of those things that everybody should not have to pay additional for. And just because you're overweight does not mean that there is more that you should have to pay for that health insurance.